Welcome guys to our first lesson on media literacy. So we're beginning this unit on media literacy and we'll be exploring some different topics regarding different forms of media. So let's just think for a moment, starting right off the bat. Well, what is media? First of all, okay? And then we also want to ask, what is literacy? Well, let's start with the question of literacy. First thing we think of is reading and the ability to read. Okay, so that's a literal meaning of literacy, to be literate. If you're illiterate, you cannot read. Now we're dealing with media, so, are we talking about, you know your ABCs and you can read an advertisement? Well, not really, right? We're assuming you're in grade 11 or 12 here, you're going to be able to read. So it's not just the ability to read. But when we use the term read, let's say we use the word read in this way. I read her body language. All right, just making up a random sentence here. I read her body language and she was angry. Okay. There's my angry emoji. All right. Well, what did read actually mean in this sentence? It has to do with interpreting. To interpret and to analyze for meaning. So when we're talking about media literacy, it's how to read media, that is, how to interpret media messaging. So we want to get at the media messaging. All right. Well, keep that in mind. Well, what are some types of media that we have that you can think of if you were to do your own little brainstorming wheel? Well, there are so many types of media now. You've got film, TV, you've got ads, right? Ads are going to break off into all kinds of categories. Could be, video, could be web-based, maybe social media ads. You can have print ads, so maybe newspaper, well, less common nowadays, but used to be a primary kind of thing. Think about, you got billboards as a kind of print ad. It's designed in that format, essentially. You can have magazines. Okay, so these are, kind of film-based. They're motion-based. These are stationary, right? There's no movement within a print ad. Then you have audible, maybe radio, maybe streaming. And, we're getting in nowadays to platforms like Netflix. Okay, different form of film and TV. You know, you got Facebook, you got Snapchat, or whatever. There are so many platforms. Okay, but we want to make a quick distinction. I mean, you can think of so many different kinds of ads, I'm sure. We're not going to exhaust it and put everything. Think about posters. Think about, you know, maybe propaganda. Posters, flyers, leaflets. There are so many kinds of media. Okay? And media is a hybrid form. Right? Because it combines, it blends together or combines visual, graphical, image-based, graphics and images with text, right? So there'll be all kinds of rules about text and different rules about images and graphics that it uses when it combines in this hybrid form as a type of document. Okay. Now we say a text. Okay, so we'll say a media text, and we use the word text in English literature studies, whether we're doing a media analysis, or we're analyzing a poem, or we're analyzing a novel, or perhaps an essay, or whatever. When we say a text, right, we just mean a document or a piece that is being analyzed. So whatever the created art is, that's what we're studying, that's what we're analyzing, that's a text. Right? So I could say film text, you know, a media text, etc. Shouldn't scratch out media, technically. So if it's a novel or whatever, so, you know, we're not talking about text messaging your friend, you know, on Friday night and saying, hey, what's up? Not that kind of text. Text is anything that we're studying together to analyze, any document. So in this case, they're going to be media text. So they'll fall somewhere, you know, in this range, some form of advertising, maybe a movie, right? Whatever. Maybe could be a music video, right? That's also a kind of media text. So a media, so media equals the type of text, and the medium is the platform or mode of communication. So is it a poster or whatever? So we say, you know, a poster is the media. The medium would be, for example, print. Right? That's the mode of communication. Is it radio? Is it video? What is it? Okay? So media and the medium. So think of the medium as how that communication is happening. How is it delivered? Okay, it's like the delivery method for the messaging. Okay, so we've got media literacy. We've broken down and given a quick definition for that. Here are some points from the government curriculum that they want you to have in mind as you study. So media are powerful forces in the lives of youth. Okay, let's expand that. In the lives of everyone. But what's the difference for youth? Okay, if you lack experience to interpret and analyze, this could be positive or it could be negative, how we're influenced. Media is always about influencing and persuading. So in that sense, it affects everyone, but some may have more tools and knowledge and information to interpret and protect themselves from the influence of negative media. Okay, lots of things, like we mentioned, music, TV, video games, magazines, other media. Okay, these influence how we see the world. Okay, and we'll call that our worldview. So every form of media comes with a worldview. The worldview includes beliefs, values, biases, assumptions, maybe prejudice, etc. That's the worldview, the system, the overall kind of belief system that whoever created it had in their minds before they created. And they may be wanting to change your beliefs and make you believe something. So you want to develop skills and habits in terms of your media literacy. So obviously you want to know how to access media, but also how to find good sources, good media. So accessing means searching, filtering, learning how to detect what's useful. Then you want to analyze it in a critical way. Okay? Critical doesn't just mean negative here. It means with thoughtful, interpretive methods, techniques, knowledge, etc. So you analyze it. Now you want to evaluate it. You want to say, is it helpful? Is it useful? Is it biased? Is it conspiracy theory or whatever? And sometimes you would produce your own media in a unit like this, but we're not going to have you produce any of your own media in this case. So to access, analyze, and evaluate. Okay, so here are some key concepts. We'll cover these and the rest of this PowerPoint in the next video in detail, but let's just introduce the categories. Media are constructions, okay? That means they're artificial, in a sense, interpretations of reality, because they're created by creators with a purpose, and they want to influence us usually. Okay, so they're constructions. They're not perfect reflections. The audience actually is involved in creating, negotiating the meaning of that text. Media have commercial implications. Okay, there's your money factor. They have social and political implications. Okay, think about elections, things like that. And then each medium, so each type of media delivery mode, has a unique aesthetic form. What's aesthetic? It's like artistic. So if it's a radio commercial, it's going to be a lot different than a TV commercial. Okay, and they have their rules and style of communication based on whatever kind of medium it is.